Hey everyone, welcome back to Three College Idiots. I'm Sam, one of the hosts, and I'm joined here with...
I'm Evan, and our special guest today is Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a junior at IU studying cybersecurity and global policy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So today we want to talk a little bit about, since the start of the semester, we want to talk a little bit about kind of how we prepare to kind of go into a class, especially if you've never, no idea where your classes are. Maybe you're a freshman or whatever, and still kind of trying to figure stuff out. Kind of what we do to not drown.
Yeah.
Sam, would you like to kick it off?
Yeah, so throughout the years, I have found that my organizational tips haven't worked very well, and I've accumulated a lot of good tips and a lot of bad tips. One of the good ones I've found out is getting a calendar. I usually use Google Calendar, and it shares to every electronic device that you can log into. I think it's quite nice because I'm the person who would have a meeting in like 5 minutes and forget it completely. I have forgotten meetings when I'm supposed to be there, and I get the text, hey, where are you? So I also enjoy the Google Calendar because you can share it with your friends, which is really nice because then you can kind of plan social events, because even when you're in college, you need time to be a well-rounded person and, converse with other human beings. So
Yeah, I mean, I am not the most organized person in the world. It's something I'm still working on. I actually, at the beginning of last semester, I had a crazy problem where I was forgetting everything. And I was forgetting, like, it'd be like 12:10, and I'd be like, oh my God, I had an assignment due 10 minutes ago. And I would scramble to get it done or whatever, and then try to talk my way into getting full credit. But I ended up going to the bookstore and paying way too much money for a poorly designed calendar planner. And I paid way. Get one on Amazon. If you want to do that, get one on Amazon. Don't go to the IU bookstore. They charged me like $20 for this piece of paper. But Alex, what do you like to do? I know you got some cool stuff.
Yeah, so I've changed what I do almost every semester because I get to a new semester and feel like what I did last semester wasn't good enough, or I'll miss an assignment, then it makes me redo everything. But the something I fell into last year that I think I'm gonna, or last semester that I think I'm gonna continue, was kind of doing two to-do lists. So at the start of every week, I would go through all my Canvas pages, find any assignment and when it was due for that week, and then just put it on that to-do list along with the due date. And then each morning I would go and check that and basically go down and say, okay, now of these, here's what I'm going to tackle today. So it might be because it's due at midnight that day, or maybe it's, okay, I have a 2 hour block in the afternoon with nothing to do. I'll knock out this assignment so I don't have to worry about it later on in the week. And then the other thing I started last semester as well was like similar to a Google Calendar. And I just put in all my classes automatically, and any other like recurring event so that I could visualize open spaces, and then from there plan, okay, I have 2 hours here. What assignments can I put in there? How long is that going to get me to take? And it's kind of cool. You start to learn and get good at practicing and knowing that assignment's going to take 45 minutes. This one's going to take 30 minutes. And when you set like an internal deadline for yourself, it can kind of help you stick to it and actually finish stuff quicker.
That's really smart. I mean, I should probably adopt the whole Google Calendar thing. I mean, I'm running around constantly. I think that it would help with the, how do you say, staring at the wall syndrome.
Mhm.
And what I could be getting, like last semester, I had like probably hour and a half to kill, and I would just end up scrolling through TikTok the whole time, where I probably could have killed a assignment or two.
Yeah.
Time.
yeah,
And
no,
I know, go on.
no, you go ahead.
Okay. I know some people will even like sit down at the beginning of every morning and like first thing to do is just plot out every minute of the day. Like they will put something at every moment, even if it's eating, if it's a break, if it's something, and then they hold themselves to that like it's their Bible for the rest of the day. And it works well for some people. I'm not that rigid with it, but
I've gotten to the point of having to do that. I get really busy during the day, so I will forget to eat. And last semester, I had to actually plan on my calendar that I had to eat so I wouldn't
Hmm.
start my only meal at like 1 a.m. But like you were saying, planning for free time, it's something I never really thought of. And I mean, you grow up and it's like homework, you get home from school, you get off the bus, you go in. I don't know if this is the same for you guys, but you'd have like a snack and you'd start your homework. And so your life was just so planned out. Even in high school, even if you had a club, you'd still get home and do homework. But I mean, college is just a bit different. You have that free time, and the nighttime you usually have to hang out with friends. Or if you do have clubs, that's usually most of the clubs I'm in start at 9 p.m. meetings. So it's really nice to have that free time and be able to plan stuff like getting homework done or studying done. Cause I'm the type of person who leaves it till like 2 a.m. And then I realize that I'm up till like 4 a.m. studying, which is not fun. And I don't recommend it for anyone.
That's I never really thought about that. Like in high school, 99% of your like homework assignments, it's going to be like math, like do these problems due tomorrow. Here's this worksheet, do it tomorrow. So like you knew what you had to go home and do that night. Whereas now in college, it's like, all right, you have this 500 word essay or whatever, like discussion response. I'm assigning it today. It's due like Sunday at midnight. And you're like, and it's Monday. So you don't do it right away. And then next thing you know, it is Sunday at 10 o'clock, and you remember that it is due in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I because that wasn't really a problem with me in high school because I
Hmm.
could just remember like, okay, I got to do this worksheet when I get home, and then it's done. But then I'm going on for like 3 days at a time minimum between two classes. So
Yeah, no, I
Even
think writing down like homework and when it's due is imperative for college. I had a class last semester, and usually in college, your assignments are usually due like Sunday at 11:59, but this professor would put it on like Saturday at 9 a.m. And you wouldn't realize that it was due at that time until Sunday at like 10 when you were going to start it. So, and I had many a times I had to go and beg the professor and say, "Hey, I just didn't know it was due then. Can I get full credit?" And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, knowing the times and the days are very important when knowing
Mhm.
homework's due.
Yeah, and I think it's also like talking about too with starting a semester, like get to know your professor's quirks early because whatever they do the first week, they're going to do every week. So like I had another class where like we had three assignments due every week, and it was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday were the three due dates. We'd get them all assigned on Monday, but it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And so it was super weird, but I would just plan to get them all done by Friday in the afternoon. And that's something else I've found that helps, especially on like long-term assignments. So like, if you walk in on syllabus day and they say you'll have one essay due at the midterm, like setting up individual deadlines for yourself along the way as like signposts and saying, okay, I'm going to get this done by this date so that I'm on the right track. Or if it's a weird due date, like you said, at 9 a.m. on Saturday, just get it done Friday by 5. And, same difference.
And I can assure you, no college student is up at 9 a.m. on a
No.
Saturday at all. I mean, 1 in the afternoon is probably the time I would wake up on a Saturday. But what you were saying about getting to know your professors first week, I would say like getting to know the class first week. I have a lot of people that I'm friends with and also just know that syllabus week is kind of just like a slack off week, which honestly, in most of the classes, it does feel like that. But I feel like if you start putting in the work syllabus week, getting everything organized and everything in your calendar, then the classes just go by way easier than trying to catch up on the second week.
Hmm.
Dive in.
you
And
you
like,
guys also both bring up a really good point of like the professor aspect of classes. Like it didn't really matter as much. Like I mean, you just kind of got to know your teachers in high school, but like I mean, you're in there every single day, but in college you see them once, twice, maybe if you're lucky 3 times a week, and there's at least 200. There could be 200 people in the class. You don't know them, but like when you like mess up, like Sam was saying, like you miss a deadline on accident, you had no idea. Now, if it's like I can't speak for if it's like a huge assignment or something like that, but if it's just like it's a couple homework problems or whatever that you just needed to turn in like on Canvas or something like that, and you miss it, don't be afraid to be like, hey, I messed up. Anything I can do, like, look, I did it. And one thing I learned is if you do it in like, you do it like 10 minutes after the deadlines it was due, and like like it really isn't that overdue, send an email to them with the assignment in it to prove that you
Mhm.
had it done close to the deadline. Like, because like you can't fake that out. Like, prove that you weren't totally, like, you actually forgot, you weren't just slacking off and just want more time to do it. And always just talk to your professors.
Yeah.
Like, stuff happens, they understand that. I feel like that form of flexibility was never there in high school. But like, I had one professor last semester that, like, it was our final paper, and she was like, how are you guys doing on it? And we're like, well, it's a paper. And she was like, all right, let's extend the deadline by a week. And we were all like, thank you so much. And it made us feel a lot less stressed, but like, that's not unheard of, like, for
Yeah.
stuff like that to happen. But and that's what I think I appreciate about college the most.
Something else that can help on that too is, and that you can do early on in the semester, is like you don't have to be the person in class always raising your hand, but like show up, answer a question or two, say something to the professor potentially after class, just put a name to the, or a face to the name. And if if they can tell that you're there, you're present, you're trying, every day, they're going to be a lot more likely to be lenient with you when they have to do you a favor later on in the semester on that.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely, definitely.
I remember going into my first year, and almost every adult who ever talked to me about, oh, you're going off to college, how exciting, they always said, introduce yourself to the professor after the first class.
Mm-hmm.
Then they've seen your face and they know who you are. And I actually followed that because, I'm a little freshman at that day, and I was like, why not? And it was probably the best thing I ever did. It was a intro level bio class, but it was not bad, but it was 300, 400 people. And she knew my name. And even at the very end, she sent an email. And it just felt great because I was like, hey, that's nice. She remembered me from the first day of me just introducing myself. But
That's one thing that I agree. But I am horrible about that in terms of like, I always feel I feel like after the first class, especially once you get into, like, if you're taking chemistry class and all that stuff, there's a lot of people who want to, like, think they got something to prove and, like,
Mm-hmm.
really go getters. And I remember the first class, like, or after I took Orgo, I looked at the front of class because I was going to say something, and then I just see a line forming, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." And so I left. But what I did instead is I went to office. She would hold these office hours every single day. It was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it was from like 9 to 11, or like it was something like that. It was a pretty long period of time, and I had a class that would end at like 10, and I would go in there for like 45 minutes, say hi, whether or not I actually needed help on anything, and just kind of do homework for that class. Because I wasn't the only one in there. But that was like, I had a one where she recognized my face, and it was better than just being one of those people that walk up for the first day. And I guarantee you, someone walks up the first day and then doesn't say anything ever again, and then asks for a letter of recommendation at the end of the semester, they're not going to go on.
Yeah.
yeah, I will say that experience, I don't know if it happens in a lot of other majors, STEM related majors. I don't think I've been in a class where there's not a line forming to introduce themselves to the professor after the first class. And it's daunting. There's times where I'm just like, I'll come back. I'll run to the bathroom, just like chill in there for a second and then come back and hope the line's not as long. But yeah, no, office hours are a great way to just, even just the TAs, to get them to know your face, be comfortable with them if you ever have problems in the class. One thing that it definitely helped me get over my nerves about reaching out to like TAs is they're just like me. Like, I have friends, my own friends who are TAs and AIs, and I look at them and I'm like, if I can talk to them like a friend, these people are the same. And I feel like that helps a lot. I don't know if you guys have ever been nervy to reach out to like TAs or anything, but that was a big problem for me freshman year.
I think the biggest misconception is that TAs are just kind of like minions running around. and like they like what they say doesn't really matter. And I definitely also thought this, that the TAs, like, they don't know anything, whatever they know they're doing, they're just students. But at the same time, they like, especially in like higher level like chemistry classes or whatever, they're grad students. Like they're grad students. They know what they're doing. And also like they can do a lot without getting approval from the professor. So if you get buddy buddy with the TA or something like that, it'll help you. Like the professor, of course, always has the final say in everything in the override, but the TAs run it. Like it is like they don't make the material, but they're the ones teaching it a lot of the time. They're the ones like grading everything. Like if you mess up and miss a deadline, I'm not gonna, especially in like if there's a ton of TAs in the class, I'm not gonna message the professor if I miss a deadline. I'm gonna message my TA. And if I'm buddy buddy with them, it's gonna be a lot more likely that they're gonna be like, yeah, you're 20 minutes late, you're fine. Like, don't worry about it. That's my opinion.
Okay. So we've talked a lot about the school aspect of going back in this to the first, second semester, whatever. But how do you guys deal with going from being at home or away from the school aspect to being pushed full force into it? Is there any coping strategies you have, emotional wise, mental wise, physically? I mean, you've probably had home cooked meals for so long. I know I'm going to definitely miss good home cooked meals. I've been eating steamed veggies and brown rice for the past 2 days because it's easy to make. So, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I really like going home. It's nice to see my family and all that jazz, but also, I mean, I like coming back here too. I mean, cooking, I'm definitely not excited to have to cook everything again. But at the same time, I don't know. It's just it feels like it's like a switch almost flips when you kind of go from
Mhm.
college to home or whatever. It's just so like the air's different. There's something in the water or something. I don't know, but they
I think it's
uh
probably like mold in the Bloomington water, but yeah.
yeah, I believe it. But my big thing is, especially once classes kind of kick off and it's stressful, my big thing is going to the gym, blowing off steam, however. And also like kind of being able to put headphones in and like not talk to anybody for an hour and a half and just kind of space out. I think it's a good time to cool off and kind of, I always find that whenever I try to get homework done, I get it done significantly better after I work out rather than beforehand. I mean, I would, before finals, I would wake up extra early and I'd go to the gym before I took a final.
I don't have that level of commitment to
Oh,
anything. So, man, okay. What about you?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm also just kind of like Evan said, just once the semester starts, it's just flip switches. I can just jump into it. But and that's just something it's kind of a blessing, lucky thing I've had. I've just always been able to just get after stuff. It doesn't really catch me till the end of semester. But I think definitely like having something like the gym or something else you can do on a daily basis for like an hour just to unwind, just to have it be like working out, reading, just whatever works for you and your schedule and whatever you're interested in. Like typically, I'll always come home after my last class and I'll check, especially in the winter, the like college basketball schedule. And I say, okay, there's a game I want to watch at 7:30. So let's have everything done by then. And then I can eat and watch a game, and then I'm done after that. So just finding something daily to take your mind off school and put it elsewhere.
Yeah. You make a
That,
really good
that's a
point about like scheduling what you want and scheduling things around what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when the semester starts up, there's always new clubs that you can get involved in. There's always, I know that the club sports always open up new sports to play. I have someone smiling really happy about swimming, probably. But I think that that's definitely something you want to get involved with. Going to school, like going to college can't be all school. You have to have a social well-being, I feel like emotional, mental. I know a lot of people who go to college and just sit in their room and study. And
Yeah.
I can't imagine. So yeah, going and seeing if they have a new swimming club opening up, if tryouts are coming up. I know someone who may be able to tell you about that. But yeah,
Alex, you can talk about that a little bit if you like.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I would say like yeah, like especially with like clubs and groups and stuff, and like we were saying with like having like building around something you want to do, like having something to force you to do something is good. Like being like, okay, I've committed to this activity, like I'm signed up for this event, so I'm gonna go. I know I'm gonna go, but like maybe I have to prepare or do something. It's like, forcing yourself to do something that's good for you by committing to it ahead of time. Because it can be really hard to get up. Like, for instance, like I'm on the Model UN team. And so all of our tryouts for travel are on Sunday at noon. So normally I would never get up early to research some niche historical thing and then go talk about it for 4 hours on a Sunday. But because I committed to it beforehand and there's the opportunity to travel, like I'll do it. And in that time I'm meeting people, it's a great social thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I think like Sam was saying, college is fun. Enjoy it. You got maximum amount of freedom with minimum amount of responsibilities almost at this point. Like, and especially if you want to go to grad school or like med school, whatever you want to do, like that's going to be a lot more intense. Like, enjoy undergrad, enjoy the 4 years you get. Don't be an idiot, of course. Have fun, be safe, but enjoy it. That's the fun part. Angie's literally texting me as we're. Hi, Angie.
She was texting me. I had texted her recently. One of my tips actually when you get back in the semester, when you finally get back to your apartment, your dorm, your condo, your house, I enjoy cleaning, like doing a deep clean. So you start like the semester out clean, like clean out the fridge, clean out the microwave, deep clean everything. So then you're not spending the first week of, well, syllabus week just walking into a mess.
So, are we going to talk about our half gallon of milk that got left in our fridge?
The one that's
That
been there since potentially June.
Oh God.
since June?
The expiration is June 19th. Yeah. So we think our theory is Delaney got it to cook something over the summer when she was here, and then because none of us bought it, none of us threw it out because we kept thinking, oh, that's not mine, I won't throw it out. And so, but it was none of ours ever, because none of us buy that brand either, or
No.
1%. Nobody drinks 1%. So nobody drinks that brand. Nobody drinks 1%. So it makes yeah, that's the only possible explanation.
We're going to have to march
I
down
was
there
in
and have an
DC. I
interrogation.
mean, yeah, I couldn't have like it expired when I was in DC. It's literally impossible for it to be mine.
Yeah, like it is separated. This fat and whatever the other part of it is,
Okay.
it has fully separated. And I think that it's becoming self-aware, actually.
It's mutating.
Yeah, I think it has eyeballs.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna march down there and I'm gonna get to the bottom of this, just like the proteins have sunk to the bottom of the gallon of milk.
I think you should keep it. This sounds nasty. Keep it.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Like we're already over the hump. Like
Yeah, like
we're
this
kind of
is a
committed.
The
science
hump?
experiment. This is a science experiment. Document what is going on with it. That may be the longest anyone has ever kept milk in their fridge.
It's like bulging too. So like whatever is in there is like
So the
creating.
gases are
It's
building up
like
like a dead whale on a
It's
beach.
gonna it's gonna explode. We have an IED in our fridge, an IE dairy, an
I
improvised
dare.
explosive
Oh
dairy
my god. Oh
device
my god.
in our fridge.
You tried.
Oh
It was good.
my
So
gosh.
anyone listening, please take this as a lesson. Actually, please clean out your fridges before you leave for break. I don't know though. I think the science experiment's pretty cool.
But yeah, I do think I also I don't do like a deep clean, but like I typically like clean up my desk and just like my work or whatever, like where I do work, my room, just so that it looks nice and that it's a clean slate. It's just kind of that same idea of new semester is a clean slate, so got to start everything else off fresh as well.
I haven't even unpacked yet. I only got here last night, but I haven't unpacked yet.
Yeah, no, I
Well,
actually just unpacked. So
ha,
I can't blame you. I just did. I sat on the floor watching trashy reality TV and folded my clothes.
What a thrill. What a
That was
thrill.
great.
I think that's a good bit to get thrown into the podcast.
What, the milk?
Yeah, that's funny.
I really do think you should keep it though. Like take pictures every day, see what the change is. You know how people do the time lapse and stuff.
Well, what more is going to change about it? It's like I'm going to send you a picture of this. I
Well,
gotta
I
send you a
think
picture.
at some point there's going to be too much gas in the enclosed container. It is going to implode.
I don't think we're there yet. I mean, I think you can still squeeze it.
Oh, cool.
It's not like pressurized. It's not like a can of
Okay,
Coke.
if it becomes pressurized and like we can't squeeze it,
Keep it.
we are gonna no, what we'll do is we'll take it into an undisclosed location, leave it out in the sun.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
no. Oh, that's awful.
Undisclosed location. We're gonna take it south of Grimes.
South of Grimes.
South of Grimes.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. We'd like to thank Alex for being the third college idiot on this podcast. And stay tuned
pleasure.
for anything in the future.
Thanks, guys.